Like some interesting maps to get through when it comes to best of 5s compared to the best of 3s.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's half the bands, right? So some of these get in. All right, these players look like they are ready and set to go. The score is tied for TY. This is all about BlizzCon points for Zest. I feel like this is about proving himself in the Star League yet again. He is a GSL champion, and he wants to prove he's the ace player for KT. He wants to prove he's better than his Terran teammate. Let's go into game number 3. To the top right, playing a phenomenal game in game number 2. It's TY.
Looking powerful in that last game, man. I was really impressed.
Absolutely.
Down here in the bottom left, we do have Zest. Chisel Tuss.
He did get chiseled away there in that last game.
Yeah, his bases got chiseled for sure by Marauder bullets. Horrible thing, but...
You know, he did sustain a lot of probe damage. Lost 10 probes to Widow Mines early on. And then couldn't hold his third.
Yeah, that's like such a momentum builder for the Terran as well. Like, if you're doing these drops and they actually get the hits because the Protoss is distracted by something else, you are so far behind in that situation. And on that kind of map as well, where the third is so exposed, it's a disaster. I think Zest might have looked at that map and be like, I can scrap this one. I won the first game.
Yeah.
Essentially a best of 3 from here. And the next map is Expedition Lost, which I think is fantastic.
Well, this map is definitely really cool for this matchup. And it's oftentimes we see a lot of early Widow Mine play, early Hellion play on this map, but Protoss players are getting smarter and walling the natural. I'm sure seeing Zest put a pylon down there early on, knowing that this is a possibility. I think this map suits TY's style pretty well. You know, especially that older style that is now being kind of countered by this type of play. Picho God. I can't read those Chinese characters though.
What does that mean, Wolf?
I don't know, but he got a rogue pen. I'm like, that's not.
I wanted. Oh, that was blue. Was that blue?
Might have just been the lighting.
I'm like, what?
But
give me that.
That refers to his old ID, which is Pichogop, which is like P and then a 7, and then Gop, of course, is like it's the verb in this case, like to say you command to someone, so it means like cover yourself with blood.
Ah, right.
So that was Zest's very violent old ID they had in StarCraft 1.
He should keep that. He should have kept that, man, because he looks like a guy that would.
He might as well be a serial killer. I mean, let's be real.
He's capable of it. He's capable. He's capable.
He's kind of a serial killer when it comes to these tournaments, man. It doesn't matter who his opponents are. He defeats someone at random. He doesn't choose who he kills in these rounds.
Covers himself in their blood, and that's it.
It's gnarly.
It's gnarly, dude. I like it.
We are going to see a fast Twilight Council response to this eBay block, which so far goes unscouted.
Yeah, this could very well be DTs.
I think so.
Yeah, I do like this idea.
I don't think Blink is super strong on this map.
Look at this, the Reaper. If he scouts it, it's going to be it.
No, he's not going to the main. He's just going up to the natural, looking for proxies, expecting that instead to be the response.
Yeah.
I don't blame him, to be honest, against Zest, normal type of counterplay. I think a proxy start gets more reasonable, but just going to wait out there instead.
Yeah.
And it's Blink.
Okay, so it's just going to be a lot of Blink aggression. Look at that. He clears out the eBay, and now he's even going to forego that Nexus and go straight for the all-in. This could do a lot of work. I mean, there's going to be only 1 Rax, or 2 Raxes finished, and there's going to be 3 Marines coming out at a time. That's never what you really want against this kind of Blink Stalker play.
That SCV, I'm not even sure if it's there on purpose or not. It very well could be to spot oracles or proxies, but that SCV could actually save him here if that's going to be Zest's angle of attack.
Yeah, look at this Reaper. It's kind of been zoned out from the Stalker for a while, but now it's found its way over the other side of the map again. And if he even scouts a second Stalker, everything is kind of given away.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, man, this SCV is going to see this pylon. Oh, my God.
Oh.
I think it was an intentional move there, you know? He wanted to spot something coming over there. It's Blink Stalkers, it's an Oracle coming in. If he makes the Stargate super forward, he's going to see it with that SCV.
Yeah, and we were seeing a turret go down to start things off, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see a bunker at that ice at the back to solidify the defense here. I think he's just really afraid of DTs, actually.
Yeah. I think that's fair, but...
There we go.
Okay,
There's
there it
that
is.
bunker. Yeah.
I mean, he's also kind of poor right now, so he wants to, I guess, make as many Marines and Marauders as he can before he starts the bunker, because the ice is still up. Doesn't have any vision over there yet. Now he's about to with his Mothership Core, of course, but... Okay, here we go. He's going for it. It's like, Reaper's going to scout it. Doesn't matter. It's in his base now.
In his base. He denies the bunker, which I think is so important at this point. If that gets up, things get so hard.
Now, if he can also deny that stim, man, I get so hard, man. Let's see if he blinks out here. Oh, look at that Time Warp, actually. It's actually just going to stop these SCVs from doing the maximum damage. And now we can just outrange these Marines. There's very few Marauders.
Not enough Marines, man. There's 3 Marines. That Mothership Core could handle them by herself.
And he's even keeping the 1 Stalker up on the high ground, even though he doesn't need it. He can just blink up whenever he's ready, and there he is. Comes in here, targeting down the Marauders one by one.
This is a big trade here. Nice micro on that Marauder, and down goes the Mothership as well.
Yeah, he targeted big time on that Marauder, maybe too long. And now he's going to have to keep 1 Stalker up there if he wants to be able to keep blinking. I don't think he can. He has to re-target now and go for either the main base or kill this ice.
Guess it's going to be the ice here. Big supply lead for Zest right now, but what does it actually mean? Oh, he gave up that bunker in the natural as well. That's actually a big thing.
He's just going to let the CC go. Now, what it means, I guess, here, Moonblade, is essentially that he's got a bigger army, but his economy, yeah, he's up 11 Harvesters, but it is 2 meals being dropped. So his economy is somewhat even, and the tech, every second that goes by, is getting better for TY. He's going to get that stim. It's already finished here. And, of course, the more bio he gets, the more safe he's going to be. So to not lose any units, try to avoid trading like this.
That's right. You know, currently, there's not really that much bio, though. We only actually see 3 Marauders, 7 Marines at this point to 11 Stalkers. And we do see that Mothership Core coming across the map again, so it looks like he wants to resume the aggression. I don't think it's a bad idea right now. The stim is finished. Like, if he can blink in, trigger the stim, blink out, play some tricky moves like that, start trading efficiently still, I think he can still keep applying that aggression while he gets that Nexus.
Sure, as long as he doesn't make any big control mistakes, as long as he just keeps trading efficiently. Also, the factory is just now finishing, so medevacs are still a long way away. He's going to have to finish his starport. Medevacs are expensive. He's going to make a reactor as well. He's a bit starved for minerals right now, trying to hold on and survive. He's even making an extra barracks right now, which I think is a good choice.
Yeah, and we do see sentries at that natural as well now, so it looks like Zest is going to rely on the contain for now and those force fields and play a macro game from here.
Yeah, with 3 sentries, you can contain for so long. You can also use Guardian Shield if the fight is forced, but what another thing you could do is if you warp in even like 1 or 2 more sentries, you can almost force field the ramp indefinitely, then keep your Stalkers around to stop medevacs from leaving, and then you've got like this sick contain with Blade. But that's obviously somewhat risky. If medevacs get out and you have your whole army here, that's how the Terran player catches up with bio in your main. Just going to Phoenix Scout here, wants to see the timing of those medevacs, wants to know how much longer can I reasonably stay here before you're going to send medevacs across the map.
Well, he's going to actually start trying to trade with the bunker. He might just get it too. No SCVs.
Down to 80 hit points. Okay, 1 SCV saves the day. A Warp Prism, though. Okay, cancel that. I was about to say.
He's going to go straight into the Observers instead. Probably a better choice.
Yeah.
It's like he's getting a little nervous here because he did see the Starport finish up. He's like, okay, medevac's going to be on the way. The drops are going to be available. I don't want to lose all my Stalker Sentry. It's time to get back.
He's getting +1 now, and he still wants that Warp Prism. Probably for the counterattacks.
Yeah, always that threat is going to really force TY to go back on the defensive, or maybe even invest in Vikings is something he doesn't want to do just yet.
Yeah. If TY moves across the map and the Warp Prism comes into the main base, there's so much potential for damage. And if TY stays at home, then Zest gets further ahead because now they're both on even bases, and he's no longer really ahead in tech because Colossi are coming out around the same time as the medevacs, which is a good place to be as the Protoss. And I mean, TY still has an opportunity to take a good fight, but I just feel like he has to make a tough choice between medevacs and Vikings. He chooses medevacs, which means the Colossi are going to be so strong once they start popping out. He's got a really small window if he wants to do damage. It might have already passed.
Yeah, I guess he kind of regains map control in a way. He's going to start to pressure, and once he's like over towards, he's cleared the pylons out and he's towards the Protoss base, he can start dropping in multiple places again, like he did last game. And I mean, look at the third bases on this map. They are so much harder to defend, I think, than even Echo was.
Yeah. 2 more gates being added here. And TY has bolstered his SCV count up decently. I mean, he's still down 10 harvesters, but getting to a decent point where, you know, on 2 CCs like this, his economy is enough to sustain all these barracks and even add additional ones.
Look at this. Completely out of position is everything for TY right now. These 4 Zealots could do a lot of damage if left unchecked.
This is exactly what I was talking about. As soon as TY moves out, Zest has this opportunity to do damage, draw this army back. And you know what? At this point, TY is not even really responding. His whole army is just sitting down at the bottom right looking for a third base that just isn't there.
Oh, doesn't save all of them. Oh, got to be careful. Cannot afford to lose that.
This army just not finding anything, but I guess in a way he's somewhat content that there isn't a third base in general. So, you know, if he wanted to snipe it, if there isn't one, he's like, well, okay, you don't have one. So we're more close in economic footing than he even thought. There's all arrested limited damage.
Yeah. Pretty limited, and yeah, it is such an important thing that scan also revealed. You know, Colossus tech. So okay, you're kind of getting exactly where I expected to be. Can start investing in Vikings soon and make that ideal composition to deal with it.
Yeah. There's the Nexus coming down now that Marine is cleaned up. And we're going to see the +2 armor versus the 1-1 upgrades for TY. Continue to add Marauders into this mix. Pure Marauder composition he's building actually. He's going to have a really strong army with all these Marauders in it. The question is, can he deal, you know, with these Colossi and the force fields? There's only 3 sentries.
There's potential there for sure, especially if that bio gets across the map for that third. So they're a little late to the party. This attack at the back door, not going to find too much there with everything waiting up there.
So much Marauder, you know, power in this army. So much anti-armor. He's still building so fast.
Yeah, he's got 19 Marauders on the map right now and 28 Marines, so he's very Marauder heavy once again. I do like this style.
Yeah.
He's so good at sniping Nexus.
If he actually continues producing at this rate, he's going to actually have a higher Marauder to Marine ratio. You very rarely see that, but it's something we see some players do. We saw Byung do this almost exclusively on Outboxer, where you just try to kill the Colossi with good control on your Marauders, good medevac micro.
Well, look at this. It's actually going to be a disaster. Completely out of position thanks to that scan.
Does push this away, but he unpowers a few gateways, weakening the reinforcing power of TY. Big pickup here. Is he just going to go on top? I think he might. He knows there's no observer.
I mean, there's a lot of stalkers there. Yeah, I guess he could go for it here, though. If he, like, the bottom bio actually starts absorbing a lot of the hits, the drop could do good.
Yeah, big gamble here. Let's see if he goes for it. He's jumping on top of this army. Now he's going to get on top of the ramp. Big move commands here by Zest, which means he's wasting a lot of DPS, and that means that bio from the backside is eliminating those stalkers.
Wow.
Both Colossi go down. Here comes the rest of the Protoss army, though, Moonblade, and there's a time warp on this.
I think the damage being done, though, especially now that Robo's gone down. He can pick up everything, get out of there, and more bio going towards the third.
This is just gnarly damage. Look at this. He's actually just going to turn around and fight these stalkers, so there's no AoE. Like you said, the third base under assault. Now he's just going to boost away, stim away. Stalkers aren't going to chase here. Looks like he's just going to try to trade with them. As long as he gets his third base and he's set up to defend, I think he's in good shape.
Yeah, he's in great shape. Maybe Zest going to go for a hard counterattack. Wouldn't be surprised in this sort of situation. TY, though, should have enough back at home with all those reinforcements coming out to kind of clean this up.
Yeah, and I feel like TY is also getting a few good stalker trades here again. Probes even coming off the line to fight here. So much loss mining for Zest. This is all in for Zest right now. He has to make this work. There is no follow-up. There's no recovering from this.
Oh, he might have to give up the natural here. TY doesn't look like he has just enough just yet. Not against those 2 Colossus with that much buffering. Where are the Vikings?
Well, he's making his first 2 right now, Moonblade. And here comes that bio force back from the attack, but this still isn't enough, I feel. Unless he has a perfect engagement, unless he has a perfect flank. Okay, he's got a lot of Marauders.
Yeah, that's mostly Zealots to buffer for it, so they can kind of be surrounded at this point. If he wants to. It looks like he wants to wait for the Vikings there. I mean, he's done the economic damage from here. He doesn't really have to rush this.
Keep in mind also that there's a ton of medevacs. There are 11 medevacs on the map, so he's got a lot more drop potential and healing potential, and he's just going to skirt around this Nexus again, and I think he should be able to get it. So many Marauders in this composition. I really, really like this.
Yeah, this is actually a lot of fun to watch, and it makes so much sense considering how many Stalkers were invested into early game from Zest.
Okay, Zest Now kind of go back and lick his wounds a little bit here. Meanwhile, TY is long distance mining from his third base, is actually lifting his main CC to reposition it there. Something a Protoss player cannot do, so without a third base, he's getting behind. Now, I really like this transition into Templar tech because he did dump a lot of minerals into those Zealots. He's got 1,300 gas and only 200 minerals. It's a good cost-efficient way to make Archons try to hold on against this type of play.
Yeah, but is it even going to be enough at this point? He's going to be able to afford a lot of Archons, that's for sure, but I feel like TY, he's gearing up for a big attack at some point soon. Now that he's seen everything he's up against, his army is looking scary right now, and he can shut this down.
He sees these Templars, he sees these Archons. Looks like he's altering his comp back into a little bit more Marine heavy and getting a Ghost Academy up. Probably going to start spending his tech labs to make Ghosts instead of Marauders. His Marauder count is still healthy, and he's got 5 Vikings now to support versus just 2 Colossi. And still, you know, that lack of a third base for Zest is going to start to take its toll. Even remaking his Robo just now.
Everything just so far behind. I do like the amount of Archons that are coming out there. But now with Ghost on the way, TY is going to be prepared for them. It looks like Zest might be moving onto the map. Is he actually going to be looking for an attack here?
Well, if he could get a good engagement at the third base, that would be a great opportunity to equalize the economic game. Wants to hide this push, but I think it's very well known now. TY already moving into position to defend his third. This drop is 3 Marauders and a Marine, so could definitely kill an early health Nexus if he speeds it. Like if it's just started, you know, he can actually stem that down so fast. And I think that's what Zest is aiming for here with his mineral buildup. Actually decides to warp in 2 more Stalkers. He's really committing to this.
If he goes for a fight here, this could be a big problem. There's a lot of Ghosts below that ramp. If you go with the drop, though, it's going to cause some problems. There's really nothing back at home to defend.
Okay, Marines up here at the front. Nothing at home but a Photon Cannon, like you said. And Zest hesitating to engage here. He's got a lot of Archons. 4, it looks like here. 2 Colossi. 5th Archon even in the mix now. This is a really strong Protoss army. He could win this fight if TY does not control his units. He doesn't split well.
Yeah, it's going to come down to the EMPs, really more than anything else here, and positioning.
Yeah.
He could even pull deploys, and he does. I think it's a great idea considering what he's up against.
It's a 1-base Protoss. There's no mining at the natural. The SCVs tank a ton of damage. The Ghosts here getting some decent EMPs. The Colossi getting focused down by those Vikings. It looks like the EMPs might not be good enough. He's trying to stem back the Kite to the left. GG, just did not have enough there in that Protoss ball. It looked like for a second those Archons might be able to break through the top, but EMPs were good enough, and his Colossi just couldn't give him any buffering at the back because they got focused down by the Vikings.
Yeah, it certainly came down to the numbers more than anything else, and those EMPs really did the job. I mean, so many Zealots in that mix too, and they didn't have charge. If we didn't see TY maybe try and micro back a little bit, he could have lost that fight, I guess, but even then it would have been close considering it's like 1 base versus 3. Reinforcements could have been enough to close it out here. This is looking good, man. This is getting really close. I'm actually so surprised TY is where he is. He's 1 game away from making it to the round of 4.
He is kicking ass right now. This incredible performance we saw from him in the round of 16. Now leading to this, beating his teammate pretty straight up in 2 of these games here. And he's looking, of course, to close it out here 3-1. 1 win away from a big upset here with TY taking out Zest and getting some of those BlizzCon points he so desperately needs.
Yeah, it'd be an amazing achievement to get it this far, but to make it to the finals, to make it to win it is really what he's looking for there.
Absolutely. But guys, we are going to take a 5-minute break before we go to that potentially last game of this series. We'll be right back.